Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we slice through the information overload and deliver only the most valuable insights straight to you. Today, we've got something particularly exciting to explore, a really concrete opportunity that could genuinely change the trajectory for many aspiring business owners. We're taking a deep dive into the Galaxy Grant, a standout financial support program designed specifically for women and minority entrepreneurs. Our mission for this deep dive is simple. We're going to swiftly, thoroughly extract all the crucial details from our sources about this grant. We want to make sure you walk away well-informed, maybe with a few genuine aha moments, and feeling, completely clear on how it works.
Absolutely. And this isn't just about one grant. It really touches on a much larger vital topic. Targeted financial support for diverse entrepreneurial communities is, well, it's absolutely indispensable. These kinds of grants are specifically designed to bridge critical gaps in access to capital, access to resources, things that too often hold back incredible talent.
Right, preventing great ideas from really reaching their full potential.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this then. At its core, what is the Galaxy Grant? Our sources tell us its fundamental purpose is providing direct financial support. It seems truly aimed at helping women and minority entrepreneurs either kickstart brand new ventures or significantly grow their existing businesses.
Yes, it's like that direct injection of support right where it's most needed. And what's particularly compelling about this grant is the organization behind it. It's managed by Hidden Star. They're a 501c nonprofit. And importantly, they're not newcomers. They come with a strong 9-year track record of actively supporting diverse entrepreneurs.
That definitely adds credibility.
It does. It highlights not just the credibility, but also the deeply mission-driven nature of the provider, which, is always a crucial indicator when you're evaluating opportunities like this.
So let's get to the numbers. What's the current award amount we're talking about for this grant? The cash part.
Right now, the current grant amount is a generous award of $3,500 in cash.
Okay, $3,500.
And it's also worth noting that while $3,500 is the current prize, our sources do indicate Hidden Star sometimes offers much larger grants. For instance, there was a $25,000 grant mentioned that included both cash and extensive business services.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that really gives you a sense of the program's broader scope and ambition.
Okay, that's helpful context. Now, flipping through our notes here, the eligibility criteria for this grant really caught my attention. Who exactly is this program specifically designed to support? What are the key requirements applicants need to meet?
That's a critical question, absolutely. So to be eligible, applicants must be 18 years or older. They also need to be either a U.S. citizen or a legal resident.
Standard stuff there.
Pretty standard. And they need to own or be planning to start a small business based right here in the United States. Now, crucially, applicants must identify as part of an underserved group. Think women, people of color, veterans, or maybe low-income individuals.
Okay.
Or specifically be a woman or belong to a minority group.
Got it.
And one really important detail. You cannot have previously won a Galaxy Grant, so it's for first-time winners within their program.
Right, that makes sense. This raises an important question, though. Why these specific criteria? It feels very precise, very targeted.
It is precise, and I think it's striking how deliberately these requirements address systemic barriers. What's often overlooked, perhaps, is how deeply these requirements cut through the usual bureaucratic hurdles you see elsewhere.
How so?
Well, traditional funding, for instance, often relies heavily on existing networks or collateral, which has historically disadvantaged these very groups. By focusing on identity and need, the Galaxy Grant isn't just, leveling the playing field. It feels like it's actively engineering a new, more accessible path to capital for those who have been systematically excluded.
That's a really interesting way to put it. Okay, so let's talk about the application process itself.
Yeah.
When I first saw this, I actually had to do a double take, an online process that takes only about 30 seconds to complete. Is that right?
It is right. It truly is. And what's noteworthy here is that deliberate removal of common barriers.
Like fees?
Exactly. No application fees, no lengthy, intimidating forms. This approach really aligns with the desire to make opportunities accessible and efficient. It's almost like they're saying, look, we want to make it incredibly easy for you to just take that first step.
Yeah, lowering that initial hurdle.
Yeah.
So the crucial current application deadline, you want to mark your calendars for this one, June 30, 2025.
And good news on frequency, too. They offer this grant quarterly.
Oh, quarterly, so 4 times a year.
4 times a year, yeah.
Yeah.
Providing ongoing opportunities, which is great. For this current round, the winners will be notified via email in the first week of July 2025. Generally, it's the week right after the deadline. And for all the details, or, if you want to apply yourself, the official website is galaxyofstars.org.
Galaxyofstars.org.
Got it.
Okay, so let's say you win. Once awarded, how can that $3,500 actually be used? Because, like we said, for a new or growing business, flexibility with funds can be a total game changer.
Absolutely. And the beauty here really is the incredible flexibility. Entrepreneurs can use the funds to address a really wide array of business needs.
Like what, specifically?
Well, things like purchasing supplies or inventory, investing in marketing, maybe social media promotion, acquiring essential website or software tools, paying for training, licensing, even certification.
Okay.
Or, like you mentioned earlier, even covering the costs of renting business space or equipment. Pretty broad.
That flexibility sounds incredibly powerful, especially for a startup just getting its feet wet. Does such broad use ever lead to, say, less focused spending? Or do you think it simply maximizes the impact?
That's a really good question. What our sources seem to indicate is that precisely because these are often nascent businesses, or maybe businesses at a key growth point, that flexibility is key. Restricting funds too much can actually hinder, rather than help, their ability to adapt to immediate, evolving needs,
Right. Lets them pivot or grab an opportunity quickly.
Exactly. It truly empowers the recipient to make the best decision for their unique situation, addressing whatever urgent hurdle or strategic opportunity pops up.
And I think I saw a note that sometimes there are even other benefits included, like access to resources.
Yes, sometimes things like access to business resources and masterclasses are included, which, you're right, can be just as valuable as the cash itself in the long run.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, to make the impact even more tangible, let's look at some real stories. We have some examples of past success.
We do.
Okay, like Brandy R. from New Orleans, Louisiana. She won $2,450 back in March of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Marcus T. from Longmont, Colorado, who received $2,250 in November 2024.
Mm.
And Cynthia M. from Lockwood, Montana, also a recipient of $2,250 in October 2024.
Yeah, and it's interesting to observe the evolution of the grant amount here. While we see these varying figures for past recipients, like the $2,250 or $2,450 you mentioned.
Lower than the current $3,500.
Exactly. The current prize is that solid $3,500. This might suggest, a growing commitment from Hidden Star, or perhaps an increased availability of funds over time. Either way, it seems to reinforce the program's positive trajectory and its continued effort to provide increasingly meaningful support.
That makes sense. So let's wrap this up. What does all of this mean for you, the listener? The Galaxy Grant, fundamentally, is a free, fast, and highly targeted financial opportunity. It's specifically for women and minority entrepreneurs, offering incredibly flexible use of funds, and it's all provided by a reputable nonprofit, Hidden Star. This deep dive, we hope, has given you a real shortcut to understanding a potentially game-changing opportunity, maybe for yourself or for someone you know.
Indeed. And maybe a final thought to mull over. Considering the remarkable ease of application, that 30-second turnaround is amazing, and the flexible nature of the funds, how might securing even a smaller grant like this empower an entrepreneur, empower them to take that crucial first step or overcome one specific hurdle? It makes you think, doesn't it, about how it could potentially lead to disproportionately large future success.
Yeah, the ripple effect.
Exactly. It really highlights the outsized power of even a relatively small, well-placed investment when it gets into the right hands.
Absolutely. A great point to end on. So for more details, and importantly, to apply for the current grant before that June 30th, 2025 deadline, make sure you visit their official website. That's galaxyallstars.org. Go check it out. You've just been well informed.